and his study indicated that there are 6 personalities, and whichever personalities you kind of draw yourself into is kind of what gets you the jobs that you fulfill. Like for me, I was always under the social and enterprising. Those two always seem to come out of the 6 to me. The social being that I loved being with people, working with them to inform, develop, and help, sort of those educational and interpersonal skills. And each of the positions that I had throughout my life, that was a significant part of what I did. I just was driven to, positions and that I had, and the work that I did was always about informing, developing, and helping, drawing and devising strategies, implementing strategies, helping people develop, mentoring, coaching, sort of thing. And then the other piece of enterprising personality was always one where you like to influence and drive goals. And that too is a part of who I was. And I look at that and go, well, that is me. That does define me. And that drives yourself to the jobs that you seek. A little bit of academic twist to this discussion, but I think that's true.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know if you'll be able to remember prior to reading that and prior to the last few years, if you can go back in time, like how did you see yourself? Like, what did you do? Like if somebody asked you before you retired, what do you do? What was the identity that you would have said and attached to?
I always answered that question this way, that I was responsible for identifying and devising strategies for improving efficiencies and processes in organizations with focus on implementation, development, and growth. That
was filled with so many industry buzzwords. No, but that's perfect.
But that's what it was.
So that's what, like, I'm
not going to say, well, I was this kind of manager or that kind of manager.
No.
That's a title. That's a title. But
that's fine.
All the work but everything I did from day one was always that.
Right. Okay. But no, that's perfect. And I'm glad you could recall what you used to say. Then if we were to go rewind what you just described, like now with this reflection of these 6 characteristics and 6 types of people, like what I heard you say you were drawn to and what you did was like you were a teacher and you were a guide. But that was not a part of what you described for so many years of what you did. Implementation and efficiencies and all that, like nowhere in there did you say, I'm a teacher and a guide. Efficiencies and all that stuff, like you did teach and you did guide people, but that wasn't how you saw yourself.
Right.
Because that wasn't what you were, like that's not how you were taught to see things as you grew up. Like you saw yourself as this piece of a corporate entity, which you were, but if you widen the lens and who are you really, you're a teacher and a guide. And I don't know if you had that perspective of this is who I am. Like to me, saying I'm a teacher and a guide, I don't feel like that is an identity unless you were like a grade school teacher. Like you're saying I'm a teacher because I'm a teacher. Like to me, you being a teacher and a guide, like that is part of who you are. Like that is part of your identity, because teacher and guide for you is not a career. It's not a position. It's what you're good at.
Yeah.
And had you always saw yourself as a teacher and a guide, would you have taken different opportunities because you saw the teaching and the guidance opportunities within those things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're thinking about efficiencies and all of that stuff, you're looking for those buzzwords and these opportunities within the corporate world, because I'm good at helping people find efficiencies and all that type of stuff. Where what I'm really good at is teaching and guiding people. I've done that in the corporate world, in the insurance world, and here's how I did that. But those teaching and guiding skills are transferable, which I think is really, really cool. If we tease where you're going and what you're starting in August, going through this training, but you don't really need the training, but I think the designation is valuable for you, and why I'm firing you from Santiago next year. But you're going to be a teacher and a guide for those entering into the Encore phase. Right. So the whole point of me interrupting and going on that is just to hopefully show people, like, widen the lens. and figure out like what is your true identity. And in that identity is these unique gifts and talents that you've been given. And when you identify those, now look at the opportunities in the world. And I think this is great for the Encore phase, because if you identify teacher and guide and you want to find purpose and meaning to continue through the Encore phase and not question who you are, not go through the identity crisis, it's like, oh, great. I've always been a teacher and a guide. How can I use my skills and what I've done for the last 30, 40 years and the things that interest me? How can I go do more teaching and guiding in a way that's going to give back and help people? And maybe I can make some money doing it as well, because longevity, and it'll be good to do that. And I also think for you in teaching and guiding, it's great to do that pro bono, but very few people who receive that type of help for free actually do anything with it. There will be some. There will be some that are really motivated and they needed that freebie, but a lot of people won't do it because there's no skin in the game. So charging for your service in retirement helps you and Mom. Hopefully helps me and Kristen in our inheritance in the future. Only kidding. But it also, as crazy as it sounds, charging for that service because you can, your experience and this credential you're going to get, is actually going to help the people who end up hiring you, because they have enough discomfort of not wanting to waste that money that will make them do the work to have the results that they really want to get from you. Right. So anyways, kind of went on a tangent, but
not a tangent at all, but a very, very, very fair point and very good challenge to the discussion we were having.